What's
back.
up, bud? Welcome back.
Happy New Year.
I haven't seen you since last year.
I know. That
I
feels
know.
like yesterday.
That old joke.
I know.
How you been going?
Same old, same old.
How'd you bring in the new year?
Working, as we all do.
This is true. This is true. For all of you who don't know, I am Captain Andrew Brown, and
I'm
this is...
Captain Randy Lee.
And welcome to another episode of Join FDNY Podcast. So you brought the new year working. You know what? I like bringing the new year very low-key.
Oh, yeah.
Very low-key.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, normally I work down at Times Square, but
Mm-hmm.
this year I stayed at my station. I just covered the overnight shift.
Smart. Well, you know what you got to do? You got to be stay in shape if you definitely run around Times Square because you can't drive anywhere.
You know how much walking it takes to go back and forth like that?
100. Well, everyone gets their steps. What is it, 10,000 everyone's always shooting for?
Oh, yeah.
12,000?
For
10,000?
sure. It's always 10,000.
I see people-
Minimum.
I hear stories of people just they're running in place in their bathroom before they go take a shower just because they're so close to it. Which is pretty good.
I put my Apple Watch on my dog and let him run around, and that's about it. And I got
I love it.
50,000 steps, no problem.
Oh, yeah. And make sure you press send and post it so everyone
Yeah,
sees this is
of course.
I am the bar.
Yeah. Right.
You know, since we're talking about fitness, I actually had a great interview with Captain Rodakis, Mike Rodakis, who's in charge of the fitness unit. Captain
great.
Rodakis. We were talking about, obviously fitness portion of it, but we actually moved on to like the recovery, how everyone recovers, and a lot of other good stuff too.
Oh, no one ever talks about that.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna check that out.
Let's take a look. So, Mike, what inspired you to join the fitness unit?
So when I got out of high school, I got into working out, lost weight, felt a lot better about myself. So I got into the exercise field. I graduated from Hofstra with a BS in exercise science, and always been involved in the health and fitness field. Even in the private sector, I've worked in a couple, camps and clinics, some personal training studios and stuff like that. So with this job too, I've always kind of said they correlated between each other. So it's always kept me involved in this field and stuff like that.
So it's always been a lifestyle of
Yeah,
yours.
yes,
So whether you were working with the fitness unit directly or indirectly, you're always, even with the firehouse, I'm sure you passed on a lot of good knowledge and stuff like that.
I was always one of those guys that was in the gym in the firehouse before and after my tour. And anytime there was a physical activity or challenge or something like that, races and stuff, I'd always be the guy trying to lead it through.
Okay, excellent. So what is the importance of CPAT training?
So CPAT has a couple good benefits. One, I think, is it gets you active, get you moving. So that's always a good thing. Number two is you get familiar with the course.
All right.
I do notice that a lot of times when people started, they're not familiar with it. They seem to struggle with it a little bit. So going through the motions and going through the obstacles and events kind of gives you a familiarity with it. So it actually is a little bit better. And then the other thing, too, is you're able to work on your physical training. So it kind of correlates to the next steps beyond.
Right, because I used to be a peer fitness trainer as well, and obviously, we go through the individuals telling us, and just wear the best, just keep working every day. Whatever you do, the more you come to the course, obviously, the better you're going to be at it, and that's with anything in life. The more repetitions you get doing certain things, you're going to get better.
It's like any professional athlete; they're not just going to step on a field or a rink; they're going to have to practice for a whole bunch of times.
Right, got to stay warm. Okay, so what's your points of emphasis when the candidates are going through the course? Like, what are you trying to really get into their minds?
Well, I think what the first thing is, depending on a specific candidate, you have to see maybe where they're deficient at. Maybe they're not the best aerobically fit. Maybe they're not the strongest. So you figure out what their weak points are, and you try to improve on that.
Okay.
So if a guy's a great, power lifter or something like that, but his aerobics kind of weak, all right, we have to start working on your aerobic capacity a little bit. You got to start hitting the stairmaster, like you said. You got to start running a little bit. You got to start going through the movements. If someone's saying that maybe they're a great runner but not the strongest, all right. You got to get in the gym. You got to start lifting. You got to start doing the heavy lifts and stuff like that. Whatever their deficiency is, that's where at least we can identify it and we can improve on it.
Excellent. So your peer fitness trainers, as they're walking through the course, did they give them any tidbits with the academy coming up?
They try to sometimes.
Yeah.
We do have a couple fitness unit members that are also peer fitness trainers, myself included too. So if we see something that can kind of correlate to pro school coming up, we try to instill that in them a little bit. So this way, at least they have a little bit more knowledge walking through.
Yeah, a lot of times we would tell them, listen, this is just 5% of what the academy is going to be. Even though this is difficult, this is a very important step. And it's not a cakewalk at all as you're going through it. But know this, if you're not mentally, physically, spiritually prepared for the academy, it's going to hurt.
Well, anytime you have something that you're not used to, like I said, it becomes that much harder. And at least if you can get that, become familiar with it, it's just going to make your life that much easier.
Okay, since we're talking about all the work, what about recovery? Would you pass on anything for recovery?
Oh, recovery is huge, especially in the part of candidates and when they're going through. Sleep, obviously, number one. And then when you're in pro school, sleep becomes a little bit more of a less commodity. You're not going to really have it as much.
100%.
So what you have to do is you kind of have to fill in the gaps where you're getting it. Certain things like mobility work. That's number one, right? You're going to get bumps and bruises. It's almost like NFL training camp. If you're not walking out of pro school with a couple of bumps and bruises, you probably didn't try hard enough.
Right.
You could do other things too. You get the sauna and the cold plunge and all those other stuff. But the most thing you want to work on, your mobility, stretching, doing mobility work. So kind of two different things a little bit.
Right.
Getting yourself like a foam roller or lacrosse ball just to kind of work on those adhesions or those little sore spots and things like that. And a huge thing that everyone kind of seems to forget is one is hydration.
Right.
Hydration is a huge thing.
Huge.
Even when it's cold out, you're still going to sweat. You're still going
Right.
to lose fluid. Sometimes we get that. We don't see it as much because we're not sweating. It's like swimming in a pool. You're not realizing how much you're sweating, but you're sweating.
Yeah.
You're losing fluid.
Working. You're working.
And it's not just water, too. You want to make sure you have those electrolytes also. All right? If you're just taking in water, and you're not taking the electrolytes in, your body will just pass through the water, and you end up putting yourself at a deficit also.
So as far as recovery
Right.
goes, and what is like the heavy emphasis? Do you tell the pair fitness instructors to kind of like, give them little tidbits? Obviously, when you're having them going through the course with the
Right.
8 events, you're talking them off the Stairmaster. They could only
Right.
hear so much,
Right.
especially if they're not already physically fit, ready for it. But we always trying to like give a little nuggets. So with recovery, what would you recommend? Like obviously, no fast foods, obviously.
Right. No fast food, no junk. Focus on whole foods.
Yeah.
Okay. Diet becomes a little dogmatic with people because there's just so much information, and there's keto and vegan and stuff like that.
Right.
We just tell them, listen, whole foods. Nothing processed and stuff like that. That stuff will hurt you in the long run. They have chemicals in there that'll really screw up your body.
Yeah, the less of a story your food has, the better it is for you.
Exactly. And that's your ingredient is just that. Stay to the outsides of the grocery store.
Right.
And like I said, hydration and everything like that. The peer fitness instructors will give them little tidbits here and there. It's kind of tough though, only because they only have them for such an amount of
Very
time.
short time.
Yeah. But there's a ton of information out there that you can always get from the internet, from other instructors. Even when you come to Pro School, a lot of the fitness instructors too will give you diet recommendations to kind of see where you are. Diet is kind of also one of those things where it's a little bit more tailored to certain people.
Right. So here's a thought then, since a lot of these things obviously is tailored, like you said, we have a short time with them. All right, I'm coming in first day at a CPAT practice session, and I'm like, all right, what's the big thing should I really focus on? I know there's so many avenues, but what's one thing I could never be, like this critical can't fall short? What would
I would
you
say
tell
maybe
me?
aerobic base and leg strength. If your legs are strong, it'll kind of transfer up to the upper body. Also trunk work. By trunk work, I mean your core, your glutes, your hamstrings. So now we're just talking about the whole, the whole legs and everything like that.
Right.
Upper body strength is important. I won't say it is because as you can tell some of the events, like the ceiling bridge and stuff like that, you need to get upper body strength. But if you can get a good aerobic base also, what will happen is your body will recover. So when you go from event to event, your body will learn to recover from that event. So you won't get to that next event and be at a deficit and you're gassed.
So the recovery, like you said, so even though that evolution you mentioned is towards the end, I believe if any 7 or 8, you still need that endurance. You can be a strong individual. I was like, yeah, that's great, but this is not a 2-rep max. Like by the time you get there, you have to have endurance.
Right. You need to, from event to event, and your body needs to recover. So that's where you can complete that next event at your best.
Right. And it's like what we tell them with Pro School. Like, listen, if you're not coming, don't think Pro School is going to get you in shape. If you're already coming in shape, the academic portion you're going to miss because you're too busy trying to recover as you're standing in the classroom, not hearing anything the instructors are saying.
Well, that's what we say about at Pro School on the first day. If you're not in shape, it's just going to hurt you in the long run. It's going to trickle down to everything else. Like you said, you're not going to learn stuff because your body's recovering. You're not getting as much sleep, so your body's even breaking down even more. This is what also leads to injuries.
I tell them flat out, you're going to get injured.
Yeah.
You're going to get injured. I was like, everything's fast-paced in Pro School.
It's not even injuries. It's more, like I said, you're going to walk out with bumps and bruises. It's like NFL training camp. You're going to walk out not at 100%. And it's just the sheer volume of the fitness instruction, the evolutions you're going through. You're going up ladders, you're throwing up ladders, you're humping hose lines, things of that nature.
Forceful entry,
Yeah, so you're gonna get that, and you're gonna have that volume just accumulate. So if you're in good shape and your body can recover, it just makes everything a lot easier. And like you said, at that point too, when you start doing the academics and things like that nature, your body will learn to hold on to that knowledge more. And when you get home and you have to do the homework and you got to go over your review, you won't be too tired that you just kind of pass out.
Man, you are just dropping gems and golden nuggets left and right, Mike. Listen, thank you very much for stopping by, hanging out with us. Captain Rodakis, what do you think about the interview?
I learned that I should not be eating fast food.
Yes, yes. I was reminded, like, listen, it really isn't worth it, just, especially if we are talking about overall fitness. Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, we all know it. And when someone reminds you, just go, oh, yeah, I guess I really should not be having that
And,
stuff.
of course, that's the mindset you got to have if you're preparing for the academy.
Right, 100%.
Right. If this is really what I want to do as a career path, like I have to buy all the way in.
Yeah, you got it, right? If you got to show that dedication, you got to try, right? And you have to know what's right, what's wrong, what's smart to do, and he really laid it out.
So, in case you missed it, last month we did a recap actually of 2024.
Yeah, we had a lot of really great interviews you and I did. But let's talk about the interview you and I didn't do, where Michelle came in.
That's right, with Chief
Fitzsimmons. Yeah.
Yep, she interviewed now Lieutenant Melissa Bennett and Lacey Higgins.
Right.
Both Squad 8 members. But let me tell you.
Founding members, which is incredible. Yeah.
And Melissa Bennett, let me tell you, I know her personally, and seeing her through her whole career, she's just always someone that's just always present and always want to do the best at anything she does.
Yeah.
But she also does it cool.
Right.
Like she's not like geeked out about it. It's just very cool, balanced, and I'm telling you, the roar she got from before her name was mentioned and when it was mentioned, it was incredible.
Lieutenant Melissa Bennett, Squad 8, Biocho.
She told me at the afterbar she didn't even hear her name being mentioned because it was so long.
Oh, yeah, it's totally well-deserved too, right? Now she's 100%. A lieutenant, and, when we look at Lacey also, still a front runner in this field, crushing it at Squad 8, being this leader for all the new firefighters coming in, all the women firefighters that are coming in, and, just another leader. Well, we could see her becoming lieutenant one day too.
Of course,
Easily.
We're talking about quality members of FDNY. Like whatever facet you would want them to be, like they still walk around like this is a privilege to wear this patch, like we all do.
Oh yeah,
and they remember they're members with time on and also elevating. It's so impressive.
Yeah,
all of them, even Chief Fitzsimmons. The sacrifices you got to take just to get promoted. Like she had to step away from us for a little bit, trying to get stuff done and keep the balance between what she has to do at work plus us, plus real life. Oh yeah, by the way, real life.
Yeah,
but no, just
but I'm excited to see this one.
Oh no, 100%. It's a lot of fun. It was a fun interview.
Let's
take a peek.
We are really of the mindset of leaving the door open for the people coming behind us, and by that I mean we want more people to aspire to learn and to get more training on this job, whatever it may be. And if SOC is the route that somebody wants to take, they can reach out directly either to myself or Melissa or other, if it's women that they're interested in speaking to. You have Jackie Martinez in 270 or Chichi Picaglia in Squad 18. They're all members in the special operations. And we want to ensure that the opportunities that we have had continue for people who've come after us. And honestly, reaching out directly and finding out exactly what it entails is probably one of the most important things. I know it was helpful for me when I joined.
Definitely. I would say stay in the books, drill. Challenge yourself, because a lot of things we do is very challenging. Find a mentor, somebody that can guide and coach you. Like I said, Lacey and I are available. I get phone calls all the time, and I'm like, listen, bring your rope. Make sure you know that life-saving rope evolution, patient packaging. I'll do whatever you want to do as long as you're willing to put in the work.
Right.
I even make videos of moving ladders. Like I'll be in the backyard by myself and say, listen, hey, this is how you do it, and I'll send it to the person. So just stay in the books. Go on Diamond Plate. There's a lot of great videos. I know it's Buffy, but there's a lot of after-action reviews, tips from training, things like that to polish your skills. So.
Yeah, great.
How about for someone trying to join the department? Are either one of you involved with the mentoring program or anything?
I am. I'm part of the mentoring and recruitment program. I would say staying physically fit. That's the first part. And just, investing in yourself. It's a long process. It's a hard process, but don't give up. And there's going to be challenging days, and just keep pushing and find out what do you have to do to pass this hardship in your life. So if CPAT is hard, what do I have to do to build myself to get past the Stairmaster? Like I said, I was married to the weight vest. So get a weight vest. If you can't afford a weight vest, get a book bag, put some weights in it. Just train, and we'll help you with the rest. But the physical fitness, that's on you.
That was a great interview.
100%. Pretty much just like the setup we said going into it. Just all three impressive individuals.
Oh, yeah. And not a bad way to start off 2025, huh?
Nah, let's go get it.
Yeah. We'll see you next month.
Thanks for joining.